Aqua Kitty, the Milk Mine Defender. Ticky Pot, I think. The milk must flow. Hey, did you guys read Dune? Gotta read Dune. So, funny story, I've actually started trying to learn how to make games myself using Game Maker Studio. And I'm at that point where I know just enough to feel like I'm totally hopeless, and seeing games like this makes me feel really, like, dejected and sad, because I'm like, I'm never going to get to this, even this point. And like, the mountain feels like impossible to surmount. So let's talk about it. Let's play it. Oh, it's 2-player. That's cute. Game mode. Oh, these are tutorial screens. Okay. Yeah. Infinite espresso. Okay, so that's your endless game mode. Oh, okay. I'm pressing triangle to cycle through. So I'm just gonna go with normal. There's no other stages to select, so just press select. And honestly, this game seems like the kind of... Because, like, when I think about the games that I want to make at first, I think of really simple... I think of, like, okay, just really simple. Just a really simple thing. And then when I learn how to do stuff from there, it can get expanded out. So this reminds me... Ooh. Putting aside, like, how, like, really fucking pretty it looks, this is really nice art. Oh. Oh, over here. I'm saving you, buddy. I'm saving you. Oh, I see. So it's... Okay. They're coming for our boys. Hashtag the boys down here. They want to get them. To stop them from mining the Milkies. Mommy's Milkies. So we gotta protect them. We gotta protect the boys. the Dune boys. The Spice Seekers. So these guys want to shoot the shit out of us, but those red ones on the mini-map are the kidnappers that we gotta be wary of stealing the boys. Anyway. Yeah, because this is essentially just one screen that loops around on itself. It's just one screen that goes that once it hits, like Pac-Man style, once it hits all the way to the right, it loops back around to the other side, and that's just disguised very well. But that's essentially what's happening. If you look at the mini-map at the top, that's what's happening, is you're exiting the right side of the screen and just appearing on the left side of the screen. But it's all one screen. All saved. Give me that money. Try to chain enemies. Oh, you gotta get that fucking Bayonetta combo score going. Yeah, and like, there's like... Just before the level starts, I can see in my head how it would be possible to do this. Like, intro... Like, before the room starts, it's like you have to hit an input in order to start, and while that is up, have tutorial, like, how to play messages show up on the screen. This also reminds me of a little... Ooh. Of a DOS... game that I played that we had on our computer that I played as a kid. It was a little DOS game where you played as a little submarine, and I was a dumb baby child, so I had no idea what the fuck was happening in that game, or like what the objective was, or what you were doing at any given time. Man, there's a lot of dudes. Oh, you can hold it down, thank God. Yeah, see, I'm kind of falling into a trap here. I need to realize that I can scroll. Look at that. There we go. I'm kind of trapping myself by looking at the mini-map and seeing like, oh, I'm on this side of the screen. Oh, no, I need to go all the way. It should just loop. Exploit the loopage. Exploit that loopage, buddy. There we go. I could not for the life of me tell you, like, what the name of that submarine game was, but you played as, like, a yellow submarine, LOL. And you went through different, like, sea caverns. It was, like, very maze-esque, and when there were enemies, you would shoot, like, a little smoke ball at them and trap them in the smoke ball, and then they couldn't get you, but they'd come out of it after a couple seconds. It's given me that memory because a big part of that was the positioning of which direction your submarine was facing, and also, you know, it was all underground and you're riding a submarine, which is literally what's going on here. Don't forget the sub is immune to all explosions. Great to know. That was a concern for me. If a level seems too hard, try again. Upgrade your shit, bitch. Whoop. It's immune to explosions, but not to contact with the enemy, because as we know from video games, all hostiles just have a razor blade strapped to their body, so the instant you touch them, it causes damage. That's just how reality works. If you're fighting someone, if you're in a fight with someone, god damn it. If you're in a fight with someone and you touch them, it will do damage to you because they have razor blades strapped to their body, and that just instantly causes you to take damage as soon as they make contact with you. I don't know if I've mentioned it several hundred times before or not, but contact damage with enemies is like the most egregious, ridiculous bullshit thing that I hate in all games. Every game, I hate it that it does that. I wish they didn't do that. It angers me so much that touching an enemy does damage to you. Like, that shit makes sense in, like, a really abstract game like Mario, or, like, the Goomba walks into you. It's like, well, you have no idea what they're actually doing. Like, what substance the Goomba is made of. Like, I would buy that, like, touching a Goomba is gonna do damage, because I don't know nearly enough about Goombas to refute that. But I know enough about submarines to know that just, like, bumping into a fucker is not gonna cause the submarine to crumple into, like, a tiny, like, crushed soda can. I like how it gives the, if a level seems too hard, you can come back and play it again later message on this level. It's like they knew that this would be the first one where it's like, okay, people are gonna have trouble with this with the default gun. They're probably gonna want to come back once they've upgraded their gun a bit. This is probably a little bit too hard for the default gun. They said to themselves, fuck it, just put a message up. It's not mandatory that they do this mission. They can just continue on to the next one. So just put a message up that's like, fuck you. Upgrade your... Man, is there like no invincibility frames? Just have a message go up that says, come back later, basically. How would you upgrade your gun? Let's fight the boss and see if that gives us the answer. So busy. Can't help for too long. Yeah, it's this is exactly the kind of thing, like, I'm not even... I'm at the point where I'm following, like, tutorial videos and, like, a book that I have that's like, okay, do this, write this, type this, and that will cause this to happen. Like, I'm at the point where I'm trying to just follow along and, like, follow the sheet music, basically. Like, that's the equivalent. But even those are not putting up, like, little tutorial screens at the beginning, and that's what that's the kind of thing that strikes me as the thing that I would be doing, even at this stage, where I'm like, oh, goddamn. Ooh, okay, can I? Yes. Not happy about how that started. There we go. Give me that. Yeah, the positioning's also important based on, like, your movement speed, depending on which direction you're facing. Going backwards is slower than going forwards. Imagine the very notion. Yeah, once I'm at the point where I feel like I would be competent enough to actually, like, make something, because I'm not there yet. I saw a post somewhere, because this is the thing that I'm looking up now as I'm exploring this interest and seeing where I can go with it, and seeing how the possibilities. Fuck off, buddy. Got a lot going on in your life right now, and I really need you to stop. Oh shit! Oh, okay. I was worried. No, 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 no. Give me our Milky Boys back. Cannot have our Milky Boys. Piss off my own home, dude. Oh, you know what? Oh. You know what? I'm gonna die. There was a post that I saw that was like, how long did it take you to learn programming to make a game? And there are a lot of dumbass responses that are like, oh, 30 years because I'm 30 and that's how long it takes. Like, fuck off. But someone actually posted an answer that's actually helpful. And it was like, basically a year. If you're dedicated, you'll be productive far before that, but in about a year, you'll start thinking more about what you want to do rather than how to do it. You'll have a general mastery of the language and or the engine you're using and should be able to tackle most any project you can think of. I've mastered a couple disciplines over my lifetime, blah, 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 blah. Your chosen project might take longer to complete, but in about a year, you'll be doing more working than confused, how the heck do I do that learning? I've mastered a couple disciples over my life, and just about the year mark is where the tools aren't in your way anymore. Which is definitely, like, the most helpful answer to that question you can get. Like, yeah, that's exactly what I was asking. That's exactly what I was thinking of. When am I gonna get to the point where I'm not going, how the fuck do I do that? Like, when am I gonna get to the point where I'm able to play the music instead of just following along a sheet? Yeah, like, learning music's the best comparison that I can think of, because for one thing, I actually did learn a couple instruments in my childhood as part of, like, school and stuff. Those were, like, you know, electives that were available. And, you know, I never got to the point where I would be able to write music myself, because that's just not something that, like, has interest to me. So I never developed to that point. But it's the difference between, like, learning the notes, learning, like, how to play the notes, and then learning, whoopsie daisy, there's a lot going on screen right now. Learning how to play the notes, like what the fucking, like, position of your fingers have to be in order to play the notes. Oh, oh, okay, that did not do damage. Good. Help me out, my Space Marines. We are the gods of the New World Order. Damn it. Okay, here's what I want to do. Is lure this boss over, which is gonna be difficult because these fucking grab boys keep showing up. This guy, this helpful pufferfish boy is gonna do a lot of big damage. This boss will actually let me kite him towards it. Ooh, yeah, this will be good. Come on, fucking let this plan work out, my dude. It did not work out. Hooray! So I gotta focus, like, juggling, dealing with his boss, and protecting the milk boys. Our milky boys. There we go. Christ. Can actually start doing damage. It's the difference between, like, learning, okay, what the fuck is a D note on this? How do I need to position my fingers? Versus, okay, now you can read sheet music. Versus, okay, now you can make sheet music. And actually, like, devise your own composition. It's like, eventually I fix the gun slightly. I want to get to the point where I can just make my own shit. And I'm definitely not there yet. But I can see where I want to go. Like, you know, gotta have realistic expectations and all that shit. Like, you don't want to, like, game of my dreams, the big old Skyrim of my heart, or what have you, right off the bat. No, I'm thinking about, like, what would I make once I'm at the point where I'm confident that I can make something myself from scratch. I tend to think, like, the ideas that come to mind is smaller stuff like this. That's not, like, super, like, massively expansive in terms of content. And it focuses very primarily on the primary gameplay loop. And it's pretty small scale in terms of, like... Again, this is just one scrolling screen, a la Pac-Man, where you go left and right, and then you loop around to the other side. And what's the gameplay loop here? All you're doing is you're scrolling left and right, from one end of the screen to the other, shooting the bad guys, clearing all the enemies on the screen, and you have to protect a couple, or however many there may be, NPCs who need to be protected. And I think even if you don't protect them, that's probably not a fail state. That's probably just like, yeah, it seems like a bonus if you do protect them. If you don't protect them, I don't imagine that's a fail state. Let's find out. I didn't actually test that. I didn't actually let any of our milky boys get stolen. So let's find out what happens if they do get stolen. I'm too good at this game to even know what the consequences would be because it hasn't happened yet. Let's see what happens if our milky boy gets stolen here. No, our milky boy. He cannot be saved now. He's beyond our help. Oh, our milk... Oh, okay, that is a fail state. Okay, so it is a fail state. You have to keep at least one alive. But the more you keep alive, the more bonus you get. But you only need one. So there's that. I wonder what the money does, because the money just looks like a high score. It doesn't look like you would actually spend the money on anything. Yeah, like, this is the kind of idea that I would be like, this is realistic to do. I mean, not visually. I mean, I guess, if you're good at fucking pixel art. Visually, this game can look like anything. It can look like rectangles bouncing around, right? International Milky Tankers. Invincible, they fairy milk up and down all day. Yeah, you see, you get what I mean, where, like, it looks very nice, but in terms of gameplay, it's pretty simple in terms of what you do. Am I supposed to shoot these? It said they were invincible. Oh, they just block my shots, it seems like. How rude. So they're just an obstacle. Get fucked. Protect our milky boys. Yeah, they just seem like an obstacle that gets in the way. Although you can probably hide behind them yourself if you're concerned about enemy projectiles. Like, putting aside how pretty this fucking game looks, this seems like a realistic kind of game you can make as just, like, a first-time project. I can see in my head, like, even the code that it would take in order to make this. Be like, first of all, you'd map the controls, keyboard check, VK underscore, up, right, down, left, etc. Like, object bullet, spawn object bullet, collision event, lose health, having the camera track the player, have the room size be... How many pixels do you think that is? However much across, and then loop across to the other side. Have the camera centered on the player, following them around. It's feasible as, like, a first-time project. Or not, like, project. Like, a first-time... I mean, they also made a bunch of levels. Like, I'm sure this... I'm not saying this was... I don't know anything about the development of this game, but I'm not saying this is what it was, but I look at this and I'm like, this is realistic as something that I could envision, like, that's what I'm shooting for. I'm shooting for getting to the point where I could make a game like this, and then after that, you go further, because then they made a sequel to this game called Astro Aqua Kitty. They went from Aqua Kitty Milky Mind Defender to Astro Aqua Kitty. And I look at this and I'm like, yes, I see what happened when they made this. I can see in my mind's eye what took place. Is they made that first one and it was like kind of low-key, kind of simple. And then they're like, okay, after the experience from there, and their, like, probably reasonable financial success, now you can evolve and be like, here's where we're going from here. I'm just gonna keep it simple and just do our eye patch boy from the first game and our rabbit girl. Oop. Well, it's not giving me any real metric on... Oh, permadeath. Those are never fun. That's cute. I'm sure it literally doesn't affect anything but, like, a couple variables and the portrait, but I mean, come on. You gotta have the rabbit GF and eye patch kitty. Yeah, we went from little splash screen tutorials to now we have an actual, like, reasonable degree of story. And we're in space. The final ocean. We gotta send our submarines into space, ladies and gentlemen. So recall what we were just playing, and now gaze thine eyes upon what we're playing now. Wow, even in terms of controls, it feels like really improved. Look at that. See, like, the sense of scale and the features, like, this is where you go. And that's how I picture it in my head, of being like, starting out with a game like Aqua Kitty Mind Defenders or Milky Mind Defenders. And then, like, okay, I'm capable of making a game once something like that has been created. Now I'm like, okay, I'm capable of making a game. Now, it would be nice to move up from there. Like, specifically, I think of, like, going from a small like, side-scrolling beat-em-up and be like, okay, I can make that, and then take that same gameplay and expand it out into, like, a more River City Ransom style game where you're exploring around a city and getting into random battles and interacting with NPCs and shit like that. That's an equivalent, like, upgrade from going from Aqua Kitty to Astro Aqua Kitty. That's why it's fun to me seeing a game like this. I'm like, oh no, I have so much further to go, but this game strikes me as the kind of thing that is a good example to explain, like, the ambition in my little heart that I have at the moment. Is like, I really just want to get to the point where I can make this, and then we can worry about what happens from there. I wanna get to the point where I can make an Aqua Kitty, and then we'll see what happens. So it's specifically L1 that swaps you back and forth now. Are we in space or underwater? Maybe it's both. We're in the water of space. Look at that. Look at how much they went from having one screen, one Pac-Man-esque screen where you scroll from one side to the other. Now we got map screens. Now we got feasibly speaking, perhaps side quests. Yeah, look at that. We are in space, but we are also underwater. we remain Aqua Kitty, but we are also now Astro. Oh, that's cute. Ahoy. Oh, so like the asteroids have water in them, and we gotta get that milk, boys. Gotta get that milk, son. It's all about that milk. Okay, I cannot fire both at once. This is especially even more so giving me vibes of that Yellow Submarine DOS game that I played as a kid. Whoop. Excuse me, sirs. I wish you would stop shooting me. Oh, there's a battery. This is very... I wonder if whoever made this... I wonder if whoever made this also played that, also had that experience. The experience of that game. What is it that inspires you to create a game where you're piloting a submarine through aquatic underground mazes such as these? I wouldn't presume it is because you played a very specific, like, submarine-based DOS game that I cannot remember the fucking name of. But I wouldn't be surprised. Maybe I would look it up. Battery number 2. How many did you need? Oh, you're good. Stroop waffles. It's all about that stroop. Crabs! Gotta stop them crabs, boy. Oh, look at that! Man, this game is really pretty, too. Both of them were very pretty. Look at that. That's such a... Oh, no, I must protect the boys. I will protect you, my boys. Some health, please. Oh, okay, it just times them out for a bit after they take enough damage. It does not cause the sad times or the bad times. Okay, he comes back. It's just, it puts him on a cooldown. Okay, that's good. That's nice. I have to feel guilty. Oh, and then that would probably open them up. Or is he just gonna loop around? Yeah, okay. Get fucked. I'm gonna try and look up that submarine game that I'm referring to now because it's gonna bother me. Coffee machine! Oh no, I'm gonna die. Sad times and bad times, my boys. Ooh, health. I wouldn't be surprised if there was an algorithm in place to detect, okay, homeboy's gonna die, drop some health for them. Or something like that. Because it's always so annoying in games. Whoop. When, like, the enemies drop a health pack, and you're like, I'm at full health. This is worthless. Everything is awful. Oh, I also appear to be regenerating slowly by myself. What? Oh. Yeah, it appears to slowly be regenerating. I wonder if that's because of the difficulty I picked. That's another way of saying they fucking died. Oh, we're carrying Homegirl now. Homegirl's coming along with us. Oh. Reduces all skill cooldowns. And what's that? Where's... We got 229 gems. Small but rapid. Yeah, we got that. Dual spread. Ooh. I think I'd rather have that. Nah, that's got too much of a cooldown for me. Fast, yeah, okay, so by default there is health regeneration. Can I sell this? Oh, you can recycle it. Who knows what that means, though. Okay, you can hold it down, cool. I thought it would just be a constant stream. But I guess this is already that, too. Yeah! Hashtag the Aqua Kitty. Okay, one pilot down. We gotta do the other side quest in order to unlock the second pilot. Fuck, flyboy. Fucking fishies. Oh, I died. Awesome. Well, anyway, you get the idea. So that's Aqua Kitty. And Astro Aqua Kitty. First of all, adorable, lovely, sublime, delightful. In terms of, wow, 1 minute. Oh, because, yeah. In terms of art style, but like, also, like, these are the heights that I am currently wishing to reach towards. This is the roadmap. Make yourself, get to the point. I'm hoping to get to the point where I can make myself an Aqua Kitty. Aqua Kitty Milk Mine Defender DX. Oh, I'm gonna look up information about this game. Aqua Kitty. They released this on the Vita after they announced that they were gonna close the Vita store. They reversed that decision. They're not closing the Vita store anymore, but that's so funny. Yeah, okay, they mentioned that. That's so funny. Wow, this game's super new. Yeah, Astro Aqua Kitty, like, I saw screenshots of that, because I remember seeing Aqua Kitty all over the place. back in the day. I mean, like, I don't remember when this came out. 2012. Everything that's coming up is about Astro Aqua Kitty. I guess it's very new. I didn't realize how new Astro Aqua Kitty was. Yeah, it's very Fantasy Zone. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if they were inspired by Fantasy Zone. Very early on, when game development began, we didn't know exactly what we wanted to make, but what we were going to make, but wanted to make a game which would be small, simple, and could be created in our spare time. Relatable. So lots of experimentation then followed as we tried out different design prototypes. Only basic art is needed at this stage, as you risk wasting too much time creating images that may never be used in the final version of the game. The game changed many times throughout prototypes. At one point it was a puzzly shooter. From aiming to be a very small game, the scope grew. Once we got to the point where we were happy with some core mechanics, we began to focus the game and start adding art. Okay, this is actually really helpful. It's like a blog post. Anyway. So yeah, those were the two confluences of thoughts that I had. Was like, you're so new at something that even seeing something like this is like almost depressing, because I'm like, oh man, I'm not even there yet. I'm not even there yet. But then also, this is somewhere I look at it and it's like, that's so feasible once I'm there. Once I'm there, this is a good like roadmap to follow of start from here and then work your way up to here, basically, right? Do very small, like, feasible, like, projects that are just very simple and focusing on a core gameplay loop, and then build that experience. But of course, I'm not even really at the point where I can do that yet. But it's both. What's the term? It's both discouraging and inspiring at the same time. That's a special kind of kitty right there.